How's it going everyone, it's TechFluent here, and today I'll be showing you the best recording settings for OBS Studio here in 2023. Now before we get started, obviously you have to make sure you have OBS Studio downloaded onto your device prior to this tutorial. If you have already, that's awesome, but if you haven't, I have a download link for OBS Studio in the description below. So to get started, open up your OBS Studio and click on Settings. Now in this tutorial, we're going to be specifically focusing on the output, audio, and video sections of OBS's settings. From here, we will first select the output section. At the very top, you will see output mode, and we want to switch that to advanced and then click on the recording tab here on the top. So over here in recording path, it is basically the designated folder your video will end up in when you finish recording. You just press browse and select the folder you want your video to be placed at. Pretty self-explanatory. Over here in the recording format, I would suggest choosing either MOV, MKV, or MP4 simply because these work perfectly fine based on my experiences. For audio tracks, I would recommend only choosing 1 or 2 audio tracks max. I usually only do 1, but if you have multiple audio tracks in place, then yes, selecting more than 1 is something you should consider. For encoder, I would select the X264 option in the majority of your recording cases. However, if your computer is strong enough to handle your NVIDIA or AMD graphics card, then by all means select that option. For rescale output and custom muxer settings, just leave these two out because they usually don't contribute to bettering your video quality. Now rate control. I recommend either CBR or CRF, but what I personally use and think is the best is CBR. It locks in a certain bitrate to where it will never go above that specific value. Next is the bitrate. Now for this, I will set the value at 2500 as this will work completely fine for computers with all speeds. However, just to be safe, I will provide you with a specific range of bitrate on the screen right now that you can implement depending on your PC's speed. If you have a low-end PC, then 3500 to 4000 bitrate is what's recommended. For mid-end PCs, I would recommend 5500 to 7000. And lastly, for high-end PCs, I would recommend 8000 to 20,000 bitrate. For custom buffer size, this is optional based on whether your computer favors the setting or not. I personally have this option checked. However, if it does create problems with your video file, then keep this unchecked. But for those who use this, I would recommend the buffer size to be 35,000. Next is keyframe interval. For this option, make sure this value is set to 0 and not any other values. For CPU usage preset, make sure to select Superfast as this will be important later on in the video. For profile, set it to high, and for tune, set it to 0 latency. 0 latency will make sure your video will reach its utmost quality and smoothness throughout the whole duration. Now for the next section, these are things you will be pasting directly in this area over here. There is a copy of this text down in the description below to make this process much easier. For the X264 options, copy the specific text and paste it directly on the X264 area in OBS. Before we paste the remaining text, please make sure there is a space beside sliced threads as this is important for these options to work properly. Once that is done, you could paste either the quality or performance options depending on your personal preference. I usually choose performance as my go-to, but you're free to choose quality if you'd like. Make sure to click apply and then OK. Now go to the audio option on the top and click it. All you have to do is set all of the audio bit rates to 160. Click apply and click OK. Next, you'll click on the audio section to the left over here. Again, all you have to do here is set the sample rate to 44.1 kHz, click apply and click OK. Now we will go over here to the video option on the left. Make sure the aspect ratio is set to 16:9 as this is the default setting for most platforms such as YouTube, Twitch, and other platforms out there. For base canvas resolution, select either 1920x1080 if you have a higher ended PC or 1280x720 if you have a lower ended PC. Next is downscale filter, and for this you should select Lanxos as this will provide a smooth quality to your video. And for common FPS values, make sure this is set to 60 FPS. Click apply and click OK. Now this is a bonus tip I decided to add in this video, which are hotkeys. Now this isn't completely necessary, but it is a good shortcut in starting a recording than just manually pressing the start recording button at the bottom right hand corner. This can be extremely handy, especially for Twitch streamers, but then again, this is completely optional. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you like more tutorials like these. This is TechFluent and I will see you guys in the next tutorial.